Yep, WWTG is starting now, which is why I started a new recording. Okay, so what? Probably, yeah. Do people want to leave early? Want to give up on my talk?
Well, I'd like to go study for a test that I have tomorrow, but I will stay here. If I just don't want to.
If I don't do it now, I probably won't do it for the next couple weeks. So I'm going to do it now.
Fair enough.
So, Wibbly Wobbly Timey Wimey is a binary, probably made by Solir, because he likes Doctor Who, right? But no confirmation. Who knows? Everybody likes Doctor Who.
Say the names, even though they said they were going to give out the names?
Well, they said they wouldn't do it until after then, so you could ask right now.
I saw him do it yesterday, and I should have asked him.
Yep. We're using handles.
Sorry. Whoops. Lost says
Yep.
he didn't make that.
A terrible loss that he made that. Okay, so I could just blow away this directory. Oh. Yeah. So, Wibbly Wobbly Timey Wimey is a x86 binary. So it's super easy, right? No. So this is what the original one looks like. You got all these annoying movement things. And then you're supposed to script all that. We didn't because we're lazy. And it didn't take all that long once we actually exploited it. Because you can just solve it. So these are meant to be the angel things. Yeah, who cares? There's also other stuff. There's this timing problem where it grabs time from the server and does all that. Duck scripted that. So that was the exploit was you could overwrite the socket with and make it point to standard in. I'll just pull it up in IDA. Screw this. Oh, wibbly wobbly timey wimey. Wibbly wobbly timey wimey. Right there. Okay. So once you get to the TARDIS and past the angels, you get all this nice stuff. So it pops up with, here's the patch version. So your options are turn on the console, leave the TARDIS. The goal is to turn on the console, but once you do that, it says access is denied except between, like, I don't know, what was it, 20 seconds before the end of the competition or something. So you're supposed to do that, right? No. There was a race. Let's open up. Here's a nice decompilation. Actually, yeah, forgot about you guys. Yeah, here we go. Now you can actually see it. Sorry, guys. Yep, 20 seconds. Cool. Okay, so we got this nice stuff over here. Crap. I guess this isn't quite as nice as X-rays. Yeah, it doesn't do strings very well. Balls! Okay, so well, let's just do this. Sub E08. Sub E08 bucket. So here's that. It checks time, whether or not it's between is less than or equal to this, or greater than or equal to that. Then 0, unauthorized, else it is authorized. Then it returns that. So there is this other function. It was what did that function do? That was, oh yes, the selection thing. Oops. This selection function allowed you to input like 8 bytes or something, and then those same 8 bytes were used to would overflow into the file descriptor for the time checking algorithm, or the time checking alarm, because it's done on sig alarm and the socket isn't initialized every time, and it's just stored on the stack. So yeah, that's how that works. It's pretty cool, but it's not part of what we're talking about today, so I won't go any more in depth about that. Should I show you guys? Oh yeah. So there's also proper coordinates that you're supposed to, or there's, I guess, coordinates that you're not supposed to go to. I'll get rid of this. Yep. Hey Duck, you could just stream that, I don't know, whenever you want this weekend. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is this. So there were 2 coordinates. They were I got that thing up. These yeah, so if you sent these coordinates, it said that there was a already a TARDIS there. Let's see if I could find where that was. TARDIS consoles online. Then if it was selected 3, is this one? Yeah. So we got this is occupied by another TARDIS thing right here. So you could see it's doing a printf coordinate space is printf, and then something else is printf, evp plus s. That can mean a lot of times that it's a format string vulnerability. Actually, I want to show another tool that I like to use called QuickSec. It's pretty nice. Do I have it on here? No. Forget who made it. We'll see in just a second. So we got Cold Heat made it, QuickSec. I modified it just a little bit to work a little nicer with what I want to do. So QuickSec just does some quick checking of vulnerability stuff in a binary, and it's kind of convenient. Of course it crashed. But let's see, did it do anything else? No. Of course not. Okay. Yeah, I don't have a good version here. Sorry. Sorry for the tease. It'll work someday, maybe. So, let's just check it out here. So, EVP plus S is located, well, is used right here. Looks like somebody's taken an A2F of that. And it does a printf of these two, so it's probably the two coordinates that we're doing. So, the general gist of it is that it's doing an A2F of our input and copying that into, I guess, back into the buffer. So, yeah. That means then it checks those coordinates, and if it's these special coordinates, then it says that it's already occupied by another TARDIS, and gives you printf, and printfs your input numbers. So one cool thing to do is input those coordinates, %p, see what happens. Oops, I'm retarded. There we go. So turn on the console. This is patched, by the way. You can't turn on the console unless you're out those times, which you could do, which you could change by that nice exploit. So dematerialize is go to those coordinates. So, oops. So dematerialize, do that, %p, boom. And hey look, we get a pointer. So it's vulnerable to a format string vulnerability. So now what do we do? Very good question. I don't know. What's format string? No, not really. Okay, so how many people know how to format string around here? Okay. So a format string. Yes. Okay. Let's do a quick crash course in format string exploitation. You know what? Screw this. Where's the, never mind. I'm not going to do that. GDB doesn't care. So, let's rerun it. Yeah, fuck you. So, I need a breakpoint. Where's it located? So that's the read. I'm going to continue from there. So dematerialize. Oops, invalid coordinates. Okay, so I want this right here. So this is the read for coordinates. Oh crap, I closed IDA. So So we want to put a break on the printf right here. We do that offset 1188 VM map. What was it? There we go. So now we'll break right before we hit the printf, and that's super convenient, right? Just so we can see memory. Because we love those memories. Oops, that's not it. Where's those coordinates? Here's those coordinates. There we go. And then do %p's just for the fun of it. So here's right before the printf. Let's do a long telescope. And hey, look, here's our string on the stack, just like a regular printf statement, right? Awesome. So next, not stepping into it, just prints out stuff, but doesn't actually, because it doesn't f-flush yet. But either way, we saw the stack. We're cool. So we could see that it's 0x60 away from the base, which is, no, it's not 0x60, it's just 60, yeah. So 60 divided by 4 is 15. So if we do something like that percent $15 $S, we'll see our stuff. Whoops, segfault, my bad. EDI 15.4. Oh yeah, so what it's trying to do is doing a %S on our actual input. So that means we found where our input started. Yippee! How useful is that? Kinda. We'll see soon. So we got all these guys. So we have just a whole bunch of stuff on the stack. But the general idea of printf vulnerabilities is you could print out variables from the stack, and you can modify stuff in general. The stuff that you can modify is pretty, can be somewhat restricted, but especially if it's PIE. That means that the binary is relocatable and you don't know the actual address of anything in the binary itself. So you're going to need these leaks of stuff, pointers into the program itself. So if you could find pointers into the program, then you can get, you could throw together a ROP chain, you could find where the GOT is, you can do GOT overwrites, you can do pretty much anything. So the way to actually do a write is, the general idea is get a leak, then do a second printf that does a write to a specific address. So once you do that leak, you could actually know the proper address for stuff. How to best explain this? How do I want to start? So let's do this. Okay, so this is our first %p right here in memory. So that means if we try to dereference this with a %s or a %n or something like that, then it'll try to write to memory address whatever this is in hex, and that's not going to be accessible. So what we could do is make that a number. We could have that do like, I don't know, AAAA, and then it'll try to write to address AAAA with something. So I'm gonna demonstrate that real quick. AAAA percent, what is that? That's at 80 divided by 4 is 20 $n. So instead of just doing %p, or %x, which just pops individual things off the top of the stack, you can do $20 or some number $, and then it'll access a specific member on the stack. So it's pretending to pop 20 things off the top of the stack and then accessing that. Super useful for exploitation. It's not too useful in real life, but whatevs. And then %n writes the amount of characters written to some variable. And that's actually useful for like column alignment and stuff like that, because you have you can figure out how many bytes were written even if you have like a %s in there. Like if you have a %s, the string is variable length, but %n will write however long that was, and then you could you could tab align that if you need to in a next printf statement. And there are libraries to do this, so people don't really see %n much nowadays, but it's used as far as I know. So people say it's stupid and only good for exploitation, but %n isn't. I don't know about direct parameter access though. That's still sketch. But it's useful to me, so who cares? So what this is going to try to do is take the 20th thing from the stack. So this is 0. This is the first thing right here. So if you look at, so if I do a %p on that, if you look up ahead, the first %p pops this guy off the top of the stack. And then the next %p does this guy. So that means the 20th %p or 20th %n will do this guy right here. So that 4 bytes. And %n dereferences a pointer and then writes to that address. So I'm going to see in just a second it doing that. Boom. So I hit next. Boom. Zigzag V, because it tried to move EDX into EAX. So EDX is the number of bytes written, right? Yeah, 0x18, the coordinates plus AAAA. And then it tries to write that to address 41, 41, 41, 41, which is those A's. So it popped the pointer off the top of the stack and then wrote to that address. So it's writing to AAAA, which is a memory address, which isn't actually a real memory address. It just pretends to be. Because, yeah. So, does everyone get how %n works? Because that's pretty much the basics of exploitation. Who? So, that means we just tried to write 0x18 to 0x41414141. That'll be super useful once we leak some more addresses. Right, guys? Right. Is that right, Will? Yeah, it is, Otherworld. So, it's really hard to write binary data to the command line. It's pretty much impossible. Not quite, but it is annoying. So, let's script it. And what are we going to use to script it? Phone tools. No, we're not going to bash script it. Speaking of yawn, it's 9:05 and this exploit might be a while. Would you rather I go fast and be done by 10 or be thorough?
You can always look back at the stream.
Yeah, could always look back at the stream. There are no other votes. I'll do that.
I don't think Carmen's set. I should probably go to bed too.
So Brian's, I don't care. As far as I know.
I'll be working all this weekend. I don't want to go to bed too.
Yeah. So if you can keep up, cool. If not, don't feel bad because I'm kind of cheating. I have my script to the side to remind me of where everything happened, so I don't do another, fuck, where'd it go? Yeah. So, yeah. Feel free to watch recordings, because I'll have those up. Without further ado, let me shoot out some code. Hey, don't leave.
I'm not leaving.
Don't leave.
Locating myself.
Don't relocate.
Yeah, my laptop is distracting as fuck.
I see.
So if there's only one screen to look at, then that'll be the only screen watched.
Cool. So the number one thing we want to do is get an address to write to. So we want to... So what's the first thing that pops in mind when you want to write, when you want to change EIP? So you think of changing the return address or the GOT? That's always the easiest. GOT is partial railroad, so probably means it's rewritable. We could write to the GOT. GOT's pretty nice because that means you only need to leak the address of an address in the binary as opposed to an address on the stack. And I don't know, I prefer that because then you get other things in the binary, and the binary typically has more pointers or more useful gadgets than the stack. So let's leak that. So leak a pointer into the binary itself in memory, and then use that to figure out offsets. One thing that was kind of annoying about using this patch binary was the stack wasn't properly set up and stuff, since we didn't actually do the angels thing. So in this quote tutorial, this video, this demonstration, it's not actually giving us the right address. So it's giving us a lot more addresses than we would have had if it was quote properly set up. So what we found was that, well, of course, for some reason, well, I guess not for some reason, but some pointers were more reliable than others. But address 261, I believe, was pretty much always good for a pointer into the binary. So we're just gonna go with that. Take my word for it. It takes a lot of effort, just a lot of grunt work figuring out what pointer it is that's proper. So I'll show you quickly how to figure that out. So we got that percent 261 p $. Whoops, I'm retarded. What happens if the GOT is not rewritable? Well, then you gotta figure out other stuff to do. Then you'd probably want to leak an address of the stack, rewrite some return address, and then go from there. It's a little less convenient, but it's definitely doable. Then I guess the easiest thing that might be to do is write a ROP chain just in memory using printf, which will take a number of writes, but it's doable. It just depends on how the binary is. You just need some way to redirect execution. And with printf, you're able to leak the stack pretty much indefinitely. So you're good. You're good for whatever, because 261 32-bit words down the stack, and you can still get a reliable pointer. So the way you do that is the way you'd find a leak is just break before the call to printf and do a huge, I guess, telescope, really. 300, see it. So you're gonna see pointers, here's stack pointers. These didn't exist, these guys didn't exist. None of that, a lot of these didn't really exist. A lot of these, I guess there's no pointers here. Like these pointers didn't really exist. All that fun stuff. So what's 261 times 4? Yep, 1044. So all of these pointers didn't exist. So you'd just be looking down this whole thing, looking for a pointer into the binary. So, and at 1044, there was a pointer to selection that actually did exist when the binary was run properly. So this is the pointer that we're leaking right here. So you can see, continue, so coordinate that. So here's the pointer right there to the selection string in the binary. That was before, or that's part of the angels thing, so it doesn't get clobbered by whatever the angels are doing to the memory. Who cares? What?
The 43C, like it is.
Where do you mean?
That. Oh, it's just like towards the middle of the screen. I was just trying to visualize
like these guys.
The stacks are pushed up to lower addresses. Stack frames.
Well, this is still inside the main stack frame, right? Or I guess this is the main stack frame and above, still. If I did some more telescoping, you could see. You could probably start to see the environment variables. Yeah, so you can start to see regular setup stuff, which is before main. Yep, and here's the environment. So now this is getting the bottom of the stack frame. Got the another argument thing. So yeah, that's, the stacks can grow pretty big. This isn't all that big if you really think about it. It's only a couple, like a kilobyte or something. 2 kilobytes. So you'll have to look through, maybe this was 261 words, so about a kilobyte of memory to find a good pointer. But once you find that pointer, you can determine where the binary is loaded to memory, and you're good to go. You could pretty much always find one because there's a return address somewhere, or a pointer to a string, or something like that. So yeah, that's how that works. And you can, of course, verify that it's inside of here. Of course, GDB always has the same addresses, but in your regular binary, you're not going to have those same addresses. Right. So now we could see so once we have that selection pointer, that pointer to selection, we could see the offset. Don't want to do that. Copy that. Then my second buffer. Could do we could just check out the offset of this right here. So we could do something like, oops. And then that's the offset from the beginning of the binary to the selection string. Let's just keep that for safekeeping. So that means if we take selection minus this number, we could find the base of our binary. Does that make sense?
What was selection again?
Selection's just a pointer in memory. So we take the leaked pointer, and that leaked pointer is a pointer to offset 0x to FFA in the binary. And that means that the binary base is 0x is the pointer that was leaked minus 0x to FFA, always. So every single time the program changes, it's going to be a different number, but the offset itself is going to be the same, always. So we could always find the base using this leaked pointer. And then the base is useful because you could get a pointer to the GOT. Right? Yeah. So another thing we need is a pointer to system, or a pointer to libc inside of libc. That's a little difficult because couldn't really find any reliable pointer to libc, at least in any reasonable place. So once you have a pointer to the binary itself in memory, you could just read the GOT, right? Because the GOT has pointers to libc. So it's easy. Rest is left as an exercise to the reader. So let's start scripting. I guess first let's look at the GOT. Actually, let's look at the binary. So what is a good address to read? Well, go through the trouble of just reversing it all, or you could just listen to me. You got this A2F, and that's simply past a pointer, one thing. Or, yeah, constant. It's past a string. So you give it a string, and it gets a returns a number, or whatever. So it calls a method in the GOT with a pointer. So that's super convenient because that pointer is controlled 100% by us. So we could just type in bin sh and not have to do any of that ROP chain BS. Yeah, we don't have to do any work. Now it's just super easy. So yeah, so that's why we're going to use A2F to overwrite in the GOT. So we also might as well read the offset to A2F also. The offset into libc from A2F, so that we can find libc's base. Because we want to overwrite A2F's address in the GOT with system's address. So let's show that real quick. Let's show a couple things for context real quick. So A2F at the GOT is located here. So objum tech R is a relocatable section in the binary. So yeah, I grab A2F. So here's the address of A2F. So it's located right there. And we want to read that address first to get the offset in libc, and then we want to change that. So that means we need libc. So let's find libc. Oh, we used A2F last time. We were going to use puts, but... Or we were going to use... I don't remember what we were going to use. We might have been going to use puts, but we ultimately used A2F because it's a super easy thing. It's a super easy place to check out. It's a super easy place to execute because it's getting past a string that we control. Yeah, if you'll notice in our exploits, puts equals that, but that's really A2F 0x5080. Yeah, F-flush was a consideration too, just because that was something that was called after we did it, but then I noticed A2F was super convenient. So yeah, let's check this out real quick. It's located here. This is where my libc is located. So let's grab that real quick.
You already have that?
Nope, that was the 64-bit that I had before. So this is the 32-bit one. Yep, correct, duck.
What is target used for?
Urban transportation research.
Yes.
Sorry.
That's it. They are completely non-profit, so they don't take any money from the school or the artist. So all of their money doesn't come from even the government. So, like FT Square gets money from the legislature, where here it can come, so they get all the money from whatever research they get.
I was just wondering, like, what item sadness should we include O3 in the O4 versus separate fund fair max incidence number of transfers?
So they're each here? Yeah, there can be classes here. So you can rent out each producer, say, form.
Okay.
So there's a way to make ROP gadget faster, like set the depth and all that, but oh my god, this takes forever. I don't even need this, do I? Yeah, I'm not making a ROP. God damn it. Okay. So our plan right now is leak the pointer to the binary, leak the pointer to libc by reading A2F at the GOT, and then overwrite that address with system at GOT, with just system at libc, and then boom, pass binsh. Super easy. Class dismissed. So let's get the A2F at libc offset. So here's the offset into libc. So yeah, that's the general idea. Now let's script it. So we're gonna send line what, 1, right? Let me move this guy over. So turn on the console, dematerialize, send the coordinates. Okay. So dematerialize, well, turn on the console. Let's do a so then root until coordinates. So now I want to leak the pointer to libc. So that means we want to send the coordinates, these guys over here. Which is percent 261 $P. And that, what does that look like after that? So here's what it looks like here. Now let's test this out. We need to address that, not quite. There's no space there. Oh well. Just go in there anyways.
Is this stuff like a key limiter? Can it pass multiple key limiters?
I don't know. I guess you could, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about Python. That's cool. That's cool looking.
Yeah, yeah. So what does it not like about that? Oh, whoops. Yep, here we go. Here's the base over binary. Woo! Not quite. Let's, So selection has an offset this. So now we got the base of the binary here. And fuck this. Purdy. So now we leak the address, the base of the binary itself. What do we want to do next? Read the GOT. So, yeah, GOT is located here. Now this is where the fun starts. So, I guess the easiest way to do this is just do a %s and receive 4 bytes, or read 4 bytes into that. So, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Might help to see what that looks like. So that's where A2F is located. So the format string is gonna be, how far away was it? It was 80, yeah, 20. So the format string was 20 away. So if you did a %s or a %n on that, it'll try to access the memory at whatever location is pointed to by what you specify. So format string equals A2F dot. Alright, let's just do 64. Is this a string, P64? Struct of bank. Yeah, I think it is. Plus percent, what was it, 20? S. Hope this works. That's why people don't write stuff like this in C.
C++ or anything other than Python or Ruby.
Yeah. Or Perl, if you're into that stuff. And if you really like that, never mind, I'm not gonna go there. So what this is going to return is it's going to return a string of just a string representation of the data in the GOT. So it'll return non-printable characters, but you're still going to be able to get the actual bytes themselves. So I'm just going to use the dot split. So yeah, let's just call this libc equals readline dot split. It's still going to be the second one, but then we're going to index into the string. It's 4 bytes. So I'm going to do 0 to 5 or 4 non-inclusive. 0, 1, 2, 3, and the last one is non-inclusive. So that might work. If that works, that'll be cool. So no attribute get item. What? Oh, whoops, lol. So how do you unpack? Pwn Tools is awesome, by the way. What?
Yeah, it sucks.
Just
You can't just call unpack and things get unpacked. Like you gotta go through a whole process.
fuck you.
How do you unpack? Oh yeah, that unpack function. That's a hard one.
What am I doing?
This is just guess. I'm not sure about that.
Well, it said before these 3 bytes. F790. Oh, there's an R right there. Okay, so that's 4 bytes. Did not like it now.
Why don't you just read the line instead?
What?
I don't know. If you're trying to get a specific part of the line, why don't you just pass out the line and see what kind of output?
Yeah, I'm doing that now. You can do that, right? No. Oh, Fuck this shit. What am I doing? Okay. Oh, this is... So that's actually good for debugging. So it tells you all the data you get, all that good stuff. Let me make it a little bigger so it can be pretty. Yeah. So coordinates. So here's a space. F77B C080. Yeah, so that's right. What doesn't it like about this? Oh, wait. It worked. Yeah, look at that. It's working. And as you can see, it changes, because it's relocatable. I don't know what was going on before. Oh well. It works. Maybe I forgot to write or something. So libc equals that minus, what was that, A2F? libc? A2F, yeah.
What did you change besides adding the content slot level?
Well, I think I just didn't write between one of my modifications.
Oh.
So, yeah, it just fucked up. That's really all that makes sense.
No, it's gonna break.
No.
It has something to fucking do with it. Why would it break?
Because fuck you. Okay. So, now we leaked libc, and we've leaked the binary base. But libc was what we were really looking for. Isn't that exciting? Guys, get hype! Thanks. Okay, so now for the fun part, overriding the address. You could do that in 15 minutes? Yeah. Okay. So we want to overwrite A2F at GOT with system at GOT. So let's find the address of system. So it's at offset this. Oh, fuck. Okay, so we have system's address. Wasn't that easy? So now to do some writes. So we have to do this all in one format string because we're going to overwrite A2F, and we can't overwrite A2F multiple times. Well, we can't go through the print loop without calling A2F multiple times. So, gotta get this right first time. But we have an infinite number of tries to do it because we have binary, so it's okay. So, okay. We're gonna need some lengths to calculate. So we got this preamble shit down. Oops. So that's just the coordinates, right? Then we have, so %n has this cool thing where you could write half a word, so 2 bytes at a time. Nope. So you can write half words at a time, which is 2 bytes, so that you can keep your writes super small, because you can't write a larger number than max signed int. So yeah, libc is located at a higher address than max signed int, as you can see from this right there. So we want to do half writes. So let's see, where do I want to start? I guess first write lower half, then write upper half. So, fun part. This part me and Duck really liked working on, because he likes bitwise stuff. So, lowered, I guess low bytes, is a system, and 0xFFFF. So what that's doing, stream is offline. Balls. So I'll restart the stream. Oh fuck, it crashed.
OBS?
Yep. I should have stopped recording first and stopped streaming. Well, I don't know, probably right when Sean said so.
Well, when did he say so?
Well, just now. 48 and 6 seconds. So, 40 seconds ago.
I mean, good thing that was like 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
Fuck! Break out a gun and fucking stab you right across the spine. I don't want to do this again.